Okay. All right. Welcome to this August 3rd to 2020 edition of the etcdadm office hours. All right. Thank you for the PRs for etcd manager. I'm sorry I didn't look at them last week, although I'd wanted to. I was just looking at them just now. The init system interface, that looks great. I just approved that. I'm gonna read through the initial support for etcd under kubelet. Anything? I guess the verified job isn't passing on there, but I can still look through it. Is there anything you want me to pay attention to there? And I guess the other two, I didn't have any sort of comments on on merging etcd manager. I guess we're maybe blocked by that CLA bot.
Yes. So yes, and I am tracking down the problem. I have found out which commit it is that is confusing the CLA bot.
Oh, okay.
And so the help desk was able to point me to that, and I have contacted said person, and it is apparently known. The person is aware of it and is working on it, type thing.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So is this something that, like, a commit that preceded, or how is it that it got caught here but maybe not before? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so we do not have the CLA bot on the other one.
Okay.
So
okay.
because there are no like community or whatever it's called associated like repos, just it doesn't work. Or I couldn't get it to work when I tried. So this is a valuable check. We want to make sure that all those PRs, all the commits are indeed by people that did sign the CLA. The one that there may be more because they could only check the first 100 or something. But the one that they highlighted is by someone that I know has to have signed the CLA. It's just got the wrong email, and it's like 2 GitHub accounts and like that sort of situation.
I see.
So it's fine from a legal perspective. We just have to get that person over the bar so that we can then see if there's another one in the next like 100 or something.
Okay. Okay. Is this something that is the CLA bot? Is it open source? Can we?
The CLA bot is now open source. I don't think the underlying APIs are accessible.
Oh.
So I think they did not. The work to make it open source didn't address this particular issue.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it relies on some. Okay, I see. Like the sort of the I guess it would be a database at the end of the day, right? Where some mapping between identities and booleans.
And yeah, so that's the end. But basically, my strategy is there's no particular rush on getting that merged.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to basically converge the code. So I have a private branch as well that, like, in addition to this, starts like trying to like use more of it. So more of the etcdadm code and back and forth. So that's why I'm like sort of simplifying and trying to make the interfaces look the same and do that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry.
No, just when you said about the interfaces, that made sense. I mean, we went from enable start being separate to just enable and start, and I couldn't think of any instance where, definitely not so far, and I couldn't think of any real need for having, I mean, plus this idea of enable is really systemd only, although I guess you could think of enable as, I'm like, for a static pod, enable would be, I'm putting this YAML file in the, let's say etc Kubernetes manifest.
Yeah. if we had deployments, you could like imagine setting it to size 0 or something.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I don't know how you would drop a file in with kubelet running without starting it. So, but yes, that's why I did that refactor. It seems like it was a good interface, but it is specific to systemd. So
yeah. Yeah, and in fact, yeah, if you want to go, further and yeah, anyway, we can look at that again if it just be, called start, then the enabling, that might just be in sort of an implementation detail on systemd side, right? The idea is that if you don't enable, then if the host restarts, then the service won't be started automatically, which is.
And there might be some interesting things there about some differences in behavior there. I don't know. We will see. I was one of the challenges is if you're mounting a EPS volume, for example, you don't want to start unless the volume has already been mounted. But there are tricks you can do. Like if I recall correctly, the trick we do, I can't remember whether it's in about one of the tricks we do is we symlink from etc Kubernetes manifests to a file on the mount. So if the mount isn't there, it just is like, that's not going to work. So that sort of is a cute little trick. But
systemd has a pretty robust, right, dependency dependency management, and I don't know off the top of my head how. I know that you can group services. You can also have services depend on, I think, even like socket activation. So there I imagine there is some way to set it up so that the service is not started before, let's say, a certain file system
mount. Yeah,
a certain mount is available. But that's a good question. Maybe I should file an issue for that. Let me do that real quick. Actually, that's a great point. Because I think that's a very popular. It's a very popular, I guess, approach, right? You have a separate block device or for etcd. If it's in the cloud, it's a block device with like different IOPS guarantees, and if it's on premises, it just might be a separate separate device to isolate. To isolate IO for etcd.
We'll need to figure out what the right pattern is, right? It could be we wait for a mount, or it could be we run a command and wait for the command to, like the init container pattern, we wait for the command to exit with 0. And then that command can do anything you want.
That's true. So yeah, when etcd, filed. I don't have a lengthy description or anything, but just put that in there. There we go. Okay. Let's see. What else? Oh, I wanted to ask. I noticed that the GitHub Actions PR looked similar to add etcd manager.
Yes, I suspect there are 596 commits in one and 597 in another, and I'm shocked that you did not read through all of them and compare. Yes, there are indeed that is the case. So like basically it's the one and then I added a commit on the end. But yes, I realized this was not a good practice. So that was the only one I did that on, and it's sort of I will mark that it is blocked on the other one, like 162. It's also like, yeah, like the CLA bot is unhappy
right. It's going to complain there too.
My commit at the end. Yeah. So
okay, so I mean that just you know, once I guess 162 merges, then 163. I don't know if you are going to rebase, and then it's just going to become one commit on top of master. Or?
I will make sure it becomes one commit. It never is entirely clear to me whether sometimes GitHub seems to do it, sometimes it doesn't, and I don't quite get why.
I just noticed that, yeah, last week I had, you know, I had merged something, and then yeah, I had a separate branch that was, you know, that had included that other work, but yeah, for some reason it didn't look like it. It was just automatically like those commits still appeared in the anyway. So yeah, that's okay.
But I will. It looks like I also am going to have to make the linter happy.
Oh, okay. Is that
I will look. That's why the verify is failing. Yeah, I'll have a look at why. What the right strategy is there. It's mostly comments, like, you know, must have a comment or be unexported.
I see. Oh boy, that's a lot. Well, that's annoying.
It's not that many, but yeah. So I might have to go through and make it happy, but yes. Hopefully we can merge. Hopefully we can override the first one. So maybe I have to figure out how to exclude it from the lint for now, because I guess I could put another PR on top. I don't know whether I should put another PR on top on the import.
Yeah.
Or exclude it, pre-exclude. Oh, you know what I can do? I can fix it. I can fix it in etcd manager, and then I can pull over. I can pull over the extra commits.
So I see there it's complaining about, I mean, some misspellings. Okay, that's I guess that's easy. But then there are okay, skipping unsupported file types. That's okay. And then error validating is because of missing boilerplate.
Yeah, it's the copyright header at the top. I guess we have a different header or something.
I see. Huh. And then the other ones are the go linting.
Yeah, this doesn't. I mean, I will try to get this. I'll try to get this running on etcd manager.
I see.
And then bring it over.
Do you? I mean, if because it looks like a lot of, you know, a lot of work. If you don't want to, you know, block, you know, I don't know if it, you know, if it really should block. I suppose it's possible to tell, you know, to tell the linter to ignore etcd-manager subdirectory. So if that's, and then you know, just iteratively.
Yeah. That could work well. Actually, yeah, what we've done in the past is we've excluded, put in a list of files, explicitly the list of files, because then people can take one file at a time.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be totally fine with that. Is there is that something that would need to get changed in the proud job configuration, or no? I guess it would be just in the script, right?
Probably hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully there should be a file. There's typically an ignore file already. If there isn't, you've done a great job. But typically there's an ignore file and you just add some things to it. I don't see if you have a hack. Let's see, you have a hack. Do you have a, I don't see ignore, verify, go vet. I don't see an ignore file yet.
Okay, well so that would be the right thing to do. Okay. So how granular should the ignore file be? Does so it should just be at the for each file that we want to ignore, not for the directory. So if how about this? How about I could look at the job build log, right? And from the build log, I can just derive all of the file names and put the, just derive the ignore file. Actually, I wonder if there's a way to just run the linter to say, generate an ignore file for me, because the linter has all of this information.
That would be nice.
Tell me how I can not pay attention to you, linter.
Yeah, I'm not sure they will necessarily prioritize that support, but you never know.
So if I did that, then I could PR that, and then if that merged, then if you reran the verify job, it would pass the linter, I think. I mean, these files wouldn't, they wouldn't exist in master yet, but.
Yes.
Or I could also, I guess, add, add a commit to maybe the PR itself. That would probably make more sense.
I think either way, I'm trying to get the CLA bot happy first. I don't know how long that will take, to be honest. Like, it might take a while.
Okay.
So.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's something I could do in parallel. Or do you think it's not a good idea until everything with the CLA bot is settled? I mean, just let me know. I was just trying to help. So if that would be helpful, I'm not going to do it.
It's not that it's unhelpful. It's that it might motivate me to make some fixes if you don't do it.
Okay. Actually, if you want me to contribute some fixes on etcd manager, I'm happy to do that too.
That would be awesome. Yeah, by all means. Okay. It's definitely worth reading into. But yeah, I'm trying to I was super stoked with etcdadm because just bringing it up in the under kubelet just basically works, and I was like, that's pretty amazing. So yeah, it's good code and pretty easy to extend. So I was gonna do child processes next. May I have child processes? I just haven't. I need to carry them across or something. Because etcd manager today uses child processes, and we don't like that. That's not a good option. But it is it's the one that we use today. I don't know whether I should put it in. Well, I'm going to need it in the etcd manager subdirectory. I don't know whether I should also put it in the etcdadm, the cleaned space, as it were. Okay. But I'm also hoping we can get the etcd manager tests running. I think that would be a good good cross check. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So then, do you want me to look at the linter errors and then PR copio etcd manager?
Sure. If you want to, that's absolutely great. I can also, if you wanted to get an exclude list in, that would be cool. But
if I wanted to, I'm sorry.
If you wanted to get an ignore list for the linter,
okay,
not necessarily the correct one, that would be cool. But just with some file in there, then I can. But it will make it. It will demotivate me from fixing things if you ignore the thing. So it may not be the best plan. But yeah, I'm pretty optimistic. And also, this is going to be so the kubelet thing is going to solve a serious problem which we have with etcd manager today, which is today we have to bake in, because we run as a child step process, we have to bake into the image the etcd versions. So we can only support, well, in theory, we can support every etcd version, but if we did, we would have a 2 GB image. And so we are sort of a little bit careful about like which versions we bake into the image, because once we've done it, we're sort of like, we can't really remove it either. So running as a systemd unit file or running as a pod, separate pod, will enable us to not have to make that trade-off.
Yeah, that would be, sounds like a plus. Okay. So I'm just thinking, so I guess the boilerplate, that those linter warnings, that's there's no, I mean, that's not something to, I guess, not something that should be PR'd, but maybe the other ones that should have a comment or be unexported. I don't know. There are a lot of them. I'm a little.
They're not too bad. That's, I mean, it's like the normal, you know, like comment on everything. Put a comment on everything that you export. It's not the terrible. It's not a bad idea. It's just like normally, I don't know. Yeah, it's yeah, feels like it's not ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that's the majority of the linter complaints.
Yeah, I'd say we should definitely fix the ones which are not the should have comment or be unexported, and then we probably should remove the fix the others, but if we don't have to, it's more, that one's more reasonable to ignore.
Okay.
The others we should just fix.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, most of it is just like there's some trailing white space, some misspellings, and then it's boilerplate, and then, yeah, I actually don't see anything else. Well, I mean, yeah, there are a few sort of kind of nitpicky golint complaints.
Yeah, the indentation one is a traditional one. It's fine to fix this, I think.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just go through those, and but the missing the boilerplate, that is, let me just pick a sample file here. So fs.go.
What do we have?
Yeah, so I guess like this file, it just doesn't have a.
So we have a license. Yeah, we have a license file. We just don't have it on each file, so I'll just go through and add them.
Okay. All right. Well, I can I can just go through the other ones, and so the cope.io would be the place to do that.
Yeah, that'd be, anything you can do there is wonderful, but.
Or is it your, because there's there's Justin SB etcd-manager.
That's my fork. So yeah, no, this one.
Okay.
The Copio one.
Copio.
Oops.
Okay. So I can let me write that down. I can do that. Oops. All right. Maybe slightly off topic, but there was at the last cluster API meeting, there was this discussion about deploying the control plane nodes in parallel, and yeah, sort of I guess to shorten the time that it takes to deploy a new cluster. And I know that that etcd, at least last time I checked, there was an issue about it. It's kind of a so etcd serializes the the member ads, so that you if you try to bring up multiple control plane nodes in parallel, you are going to you will have to wait until each node not only is added but then subsequently joins. So every time a node, every time a new node is added, that is blocking any further add operations. As far as I know that I think that the documentation, the last time I checked, the documentation actually made it seem like it was less conservative than that. That etcd would only block further member operations if it could impact or if it could cause a quorum loss. But it turns out, I think, that it's actually stricter than that. There's basically no matter what the impact might be on the quorum, if there's a member that's being added, it has to it either has to join or you have to be able to remove it before you can make any other operation. So
there is I'd say there's also a difference between the first bring up of a cluster and expanding a cluster. And the use case that they described in Cluster API in terms of making it faster to boot, that was, I think, a new cluster. And so you can start a cluster and say, these are the 3 initial members.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. The static configuration but for that, I think you need to know information ahead of time that you might not have, especially if you're in a cloud environment. Like unless you have some additional interaction, right? This is, I think, what COPS has done.
Well, this is what etcd manager does, right? And so there's another problem, which is, like, more important than the boot up time, is if you're in a cloud environment and you bring up one node as the master and it goes away, if you happen to crash at that moment, you're basically, you can't come up,
right? You
can't proceed. Whereas if you have 3, you need any 2 of those to come up at any time and you're good.
Yeah.
And like that is, so that's the, in my opinion, more important thing. I think the trick is traditionally to give them a stable IP or host name. And so you basically, like, etcd manager uses synthetic host names in etc hosts, which is not great, but seems reasonable. The other option is to, or the other main option is to, like, use a floating IP of some sort, an elastic IP.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's not a bad. Maybe it's not a bad goal, but it seems like there is, you do have to add a lot of complexity for the initial, to speed up the initial deployment, which I think so. So in the case where you need to deploy a lot of clusters, maybe because I don't know, you're doing for CI. In that case, I would say you probably are okay with just a single node control plane. And I mean, in general, if you're bringing up a cluster where that has a highly available or multiple control nodes, it's like a longer lived typically cluster, and so that initial deploy time should be a very small fraction, right? It's just like small overhead.
Yeah, to me, it's not about the boot up time is not the reason to do it. It is the like availability. Like if you cannot, you can't say your HA if you like pick a leader and then can't recover from that leader failing, in my opinion. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can say your HA once it gets past a certain point. I don't know. Maybe that's reasonable. But anyway, it's that scenario where like you have to worry about. I guess you init on a single node, then you like if that one goes away, you cannot.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's actually that's a problem for etcdadm. Because the idea is that you dynamically scale the cluster. Yeah, and so then if you either if you lose the initial node, you're done. If you are unable to join the second node, you're also done. You have to start over. So I mean, that's true. That's a disadvantage, but it also, I mean, it's I guess it's a lot simpler, right?
Yeah. And you still have the key distribution problem, right? Like if how you still like need one place to generate the keys, or at least one key is shared. So that still remains hard.
Did you? So it sounds like you did see that cluster API issue, or did you?
No, I did not. I just know that they talked about this a lot.
Oh, okay. I actually hadn't seen it, or maybe I'd missed previous discussions. But let me see if I can find that issue. Support. Huh? No, for some reason I don't see it. I'll find it though. KCP. It's got to be with area. Let's see. Failed first control plane nodes creates unrecoverable failure. Yeah, that's exactly what you were talking about. That's a different issue. Strange. I don't see. Okay, I guess I'll have to find it later because I can't see. Okay. But anyway, so etcd manager addresses that. etcdadm doesn't.
Yeah, but I mean, it's as you say, like it is a lot of. It's a very it's hard to do in an unopinionated way. So like etcd manager relies on an external generation of the CA key and certificate.
Yeah.
Or CA keys and certificates. So that's how it gets around the distribution problem, I guess. Yeah, so it might be we have to, like, I know kubeadm did phases, right, and split up like the certs into a separate phase. I could imagine doing something like that. We like produce some certs and keys, and then like if you want to run that and then distribute those files yourself, you can do so. It's not great. It's not clear that, like, would etcdadm actually use that, for example, or would they just generate the certs and keys? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the answer. Maybe we just say, like, if you want to do a parallel bring up or a 3-node initial cluster, you're responsible for getting the certs and keys in there. You're responsible for saying, like, these are the 3 members, and then you do etcd cluster join or etcdadm like fast join or something, or fast start.
Mm-hmm.
Like a different command that is able to, or you can just init. I just do an init, but just have like all 3 members working, all 3 members pre-specified.
Yeah.
Or all n members.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, you need the requirements. Yeah, you gotta have the certs, and you have to have stable IPs/host names, and you have to use, right, the static list of members, right? That etcd. So when you if you want to bring up multiple etcd members in parallel, you have to tell every etcd member about all the other members that it expects to have in the cluster. Now, is it, you said earlier that it was like if you were bringing up 3, then you only need the quorum and then the cluster is available. I for some reason I thought that it was for some reason more strict than that. But I'm probably wrong, because it sounds very reasonable that it's,
That's, I mean, it could well be the case. You're absolutely, I mean, I should verify that statement. I do believe it's the case, but I hopefully have a test for it in etcd manager, but we'll find out, I guess.
Okay. I think you're probably right, but for some reason I remember, this is a long time ago. If you remember, there was the public etcd discovery. That was the other sort of option.
Oh yeah.
And I swear that that all of the members had to come up before the cluster was available. But that sounds wrong. I mean, it should just be the quorum. That should be.
You could certainly imagine an optimization where it would say, like, at least wait 15 seconds to see if node 3, or 30 seconds to see if node 3 is about to show up before like having to like recover it. But I don't know.
Okay. I think you're right. I for some reason I have I'm remembering something.
If I'm not right, I think we should suggest to etcd that they should fix that. Like, I don't think we should be working around it.
Yeah. It's actually an interesting question. Okay, let me write that down. I guess that's one way to phrase it. Okay, so I have something to do, and that is PR some lint fixes on etcd manager, and that can be done in parallel while we're waiting for the CLA. So we can do. I'll do this incrementally, and just a little housekeeping, and then that'll just help.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. Any and then you said that, yeah, there's let me actually write that down. So the CLA bot the commits sending the CLA bot. We know the commits out of the first 100 of sending the CLA bot. And so do you know how that will get fixed? Is that will we just be able to ask that person to sign the CLA with a different email or amend the
I think they've actually signed they are going to do something to I think they're trying to put the email on their other GitHub account, and then I think we can certainly re-trigger the check when that happens. Okay. I think there's a command, check CLA or something.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Thanks. Yes, I think I need to. There's still the. Sorry, I'm a little lost. Let's see. I was looking at. There's still the other pull request for etcd under kubelet. What was this failing on?
Let's see.
Verified why? Oh, okay. So I think it's another GoLint. But otherwise,
cool. I will fix it up then.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we could mark 163 as work. We can certainly treat 163 as work in progress. Maybe I'll just mark it as such.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then, but I'll get the other one passing nowish.
Okay, and I will read through it. But that should be good to go. Okay, so that's the other thing that I need to do is just review 165.
Cool. Well, I'll make sure 165 passes the tests.
Okay. I think it will. It's just the linting, right? That's all.
Oh, passes all tests, including the lint.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
I'll review that then. All right.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.